Hello, this is The Way of Fairness. My name is Stephen Childs. We're making progress. It's really quite astounding what's been going on. It dawned on me that the reason that, for example, Scott Peck wrote The Road Less Traveled, and then he wrote The People of the Lie. And I was mad when I read The People of the Lie because he goes off on this Christian exorcist tangent where they're condemning these demons to hell and all that kind of thing. And he's Christian. I'm like, oh no. You see, the Christians are the people of the lie. And the politicians, the systems of the world, are basically the people of the lie. Now, there are exceptions. There's Christians that are about the truth. And they know there are some horribly wicked scriptures in the Bible about having joy and killing the enemy's babies and stuff like that. That's evil. That's very unfair. So I'm going to go more into how this developed later, how the Jewish peoples ended up with this mean God that you had to surrender to it because all the subgroups in the Israeli people, they were worshiping different gods. And so the people with the most power were the mean ones with the mean God. And you either surrender to this God and us, or we'll kill you. Because we're getting killed by these other tribes, and we need unity. You see what I'm saying? So we can go more into that later, but that's enough on that topic for now. I want to talk more about what just dawned on me. Scott Peck was fighting evil, and he had learned about narcissism as a psychiatrist, and he'd already decided to take The Road Less Traveled. He wrote the book on it. It's an excellent book. Like millions of copies have been sold. Maybe approaching 100 million. I don't know. Anyway, he had to surrender to the Christian mean God for protection so he could continue teaching us about malignant narcissists. He couldn't defeat it. The force of unfairness is very powerful. It's the force of evil. That's what it is. And that's what I've been fighting. And I would tell people years ago, don't trust me because I don't know if I'm going to succeed. I might have to surrender to evil too. So I would explain what I'm doing, how I'm fighting it, and so forth. It involved a group of aliens that have us under control. But I was shown in a dream they're going to comply with the World Fairness Agreement. I was shown this 30 years ago, before I even wrote the document. So everything's going well, actually, other than I am extremely depressed. But I'm getting some hope now with this realization. So I just made a video about Jesse Peterson, the Fallen State channel on YouTube, and he lies. Because he's biblical. He lies for the Bible. The people of the Bible, where I come from, they had an idea, the Mormon church, lying for the Lord. So they knew they were lying for the Lord, and they knew, a lot of them know, that Joseph Smith is a charlatan and that he made it up. It's what it looks like from the evidence. So, people that I grew up with, and one person I respected his view on things, and I was disturbed. And I says, I'm just having trouble with the Mormon church, Jack. He says, Steve, it's just a horse race. People just join it to try to win. Pick a side that you think might win, that you might benefit from. It's not about belief. It's like a fairy tale. We imagine this to be true. And so people are brainwashed by it. All the Christian religions. Any religion is basically about some type of brainwashing into the belief system or indoctrination. If you don't believe it, you're in trouble from the gods. Now, who are the gods that put you in trouble? These aliens that had control of the earth. That's them. And they're real. And they're very powerful. And people can't fight them. So, Scott Peck sided with the Christian religion. Now I understand. He couldn't defeat it. He couldn't defeat evil without Jesus delivering him from evil. And so the same thing with Jesse Peterson. I realized I don't have to be mad at him for lying to the people he interviews and boxing them into a corner with answering a question so that, and he won't let them ask their question. He interrupts. So that's what he's doing. That's how he's making his ideas known. So it's the same thing with Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck has sided with the Christians. He's actually a Mormon. He's a converted Mormon, LDS. So basically, this power of evil, this power of unfairness, tells them, yeah, you can have a YouTube channel that makes you money, but you got to do it my way, or you're not going to go anywhere. Like me, I haven't gone anywhere with my channel. I had one person viewed my last video on manifest miracles. One person, now there's 2 on YouTube. I gave up on YouTube and I moved over to TikTok. I have a lot of people looking at the pictures, but you know, I have had one that's approaching 1,000 views on talking about the way of fairness. So that was very hopeful. How many people have dreams that they're the Christ? I do. And when I'm in that mode and they're telling me those kind of dreams, it totally makes sense. And they want me to tell them about what you just was thinking. And it's this. I've had dreams that Judas is my best friend as a fly. And he made me eat crap when I was 2 years old. That was the first dream along this line that I had. Judas was my best. I made friends with Judas as a fly. That is strange, don't you think? So then I have dreams that I'm the guy in Revelations. It's not Jesus, it's me. It's like Jesus is a bad guy in my place. He's taken my chair. Jesus has taken my chair. I don't think there's a Jesus. There's this line of thought that's being given to us by the higher power. And they've chosen to work with me. And they chose to work with people back then, 2,000 years ago. And that became Christianity that went way off track. And don't blame anyone. Blaming somebody's unfair because you don't know why they have to do what they have to do. One of my spirit connections, a different mind, just told me telepathically, tell them, I'm relaying the message, tell them that nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. So, is that bad or good? You know? So anyway, I've had the dream about the aliens that have control of us, that I handed them the document. This was like 30, 40 years ago too. Over 20. This one was more recent. And they're going to agree with my document. And they won't control us anymore. They are the people that got trapped or lost. And so 20 years later, I write the World Fairness Agreement. And I realized one day, that's what that dream was about. They knew I was going to write it since before I was born, probably. So I was flagging, stopping traffic control with the signs, slow stop sign, slow or stop, depending on which way you have it facing. And we were up Provo Canyon on a job when they improved the road. It's been probably 15 years ago or more, around 15 years. And I was hearing telepathically, and I was being attacked by unfairness. And Neptune was like this tyrannical god trying to have control of me. But he had control of everybody else. And I was working with a guy that told me one day, just he knew I was onto this stuff. He knew he was an aware person himself. And he said, I've gone completely wrong now, Steve. Like he was telling me, he's not going to be siding with the truth. He had made his decision to do what he's told by Neptune or evil or Satan or the Lord Almighty, something. He was not going to be standing for the truth. That's the way I interpret it. He's completely wrong now. He wanted me to know because he knew I knew stuff about that. He knew I was aware of this power of unfairness, this power of evil. And so was he. So there again, in this example of people that can't defeat it. They have to do what it wants, or they won't even have it. They would be homeless. See, some of the homeless people they won't go along with it, and they end up homeless. It makes an example of you. Like me. I don't have any money. I'm trying to sell my Jeep so I can continue to pay rent. All I can afford is a $500 a month room with other people because evil wants me dead. I heard while I was up the canyon, I overheard telepathically them talking to somebody else, and somebody said, I told you not to kill him. So I'm being protected. And so somebody else. Anyway, I'm hoping I don't go over on the time limit on TikTok, so I'm going to end it right here. But I'm just glad I realized this. People can't defeat it. I might be the only one. That's why they're giving me dreams of being the Christ, the one that can defeat evil. It's got nothing to do with the Bible. Nothing.